Students, many a times it happens that you put in your best efforts. You study maybe 12 hours every day for continuously 3 months, but you're not able to score well in exam. Have you ever wondered why? Have you ever sat down and thought of reasons why you scored less and what you can do to score well in exam? Well, I have identified 5 common mistakes of students which they commit during their study period as well as examination, and I am going to discuss those 5 mistakes with you so that you avoid those mistakes and score well in exam. Now, the first mistake which normally students make is that they don't plan the syllabus and revision time. Now, you will tell me, ma'am, there is always limited time to study. We don't get enough time. You're talking about revision? It'll be a boon. It'll be something very great if we can at least manage to complete the CA syllabus. Well, students, it's not that difficult. Everyone does it every year. There are few things which you should keep in mind. Now, you may take any kind of exam like CA Foundation, CA Inter, or CA Final. More or less, you will get 3 months for self study. So I'm assuming that you have 3 full months to study. Now, how should you plan your studies in these 3 months and also plan your revision in the given time itself? So I'm assuming that at any stage, a CA student will get only 3 months to study. In the first month, you pick up any 4 subjects. Okay, first month you pick up any 4 subjects and you give 1 week for each subject. Okay, so spend 7 days for each subject. So that way, 4 weeks, 4 subjects. You're done with 4 subjects. In the second month, take up another 4 subjects. Okay, now it may so happen that your subjects are not 8, you have less number of subjects, but every subject may have 2 different parts. Like in law, you have law and you have business communication and reporting. So you can take 1 week for law, you can keep 1 week for business communication and reporting. Similarly, in economics, you have 2 parts. So you can always break the syllabus so that you have more number of days to complete a section of the portion. So in the first month, you will cover 4 subjects, 7 days for each subject. In the second month, follow the same pattern, 4 subjects, that is 7 days for each subject. Now, my further advice to you will be that in the first month, try to complete the second group, and in the first month, you will do the first group. All right. Now you have 1 month, 1 whole month for revision. So in the third month, it's now time to start revising with group 2. So revise group 2 first, followed by group 1. Always revise in the reverse manner so that by the time you come to an end of your revision period, the group 1 papers are lined up. Okay, so always study and revise in the reverse manner if possible. You can interchange. You can say, no, I want to start studying group 1 first, group 2 second. I leave it up to you. But revision should always be in the reverse manner. Okay, because it doesn't make sense that you have just studied group 1 in the second month and you again revise that. Revision should always be of something which you have studied long time back. So we will revise group 2 first, followed by group 1. Take 2 subjects per day because now for revision you have limited time and I don't think you will need 7 days to revise. So study 2 subjects in a day during revision. So I'll write it over here for you. 2 subjects per day. So guys, if you follow this, it is very much possible not only to plan your studies, the syllabus, but also to give you enough time for revision. So this is the first mistake which students commit. They don't plan their studies and revision time properly. If you follow this method, you will be able to study and revise the entire syllabus in just 3 months. The second common mistake which I have seen students commit is writing theory question in paragraph form instead of point form. Students, these are the common mistakes which I have identified since so many years of my teaching experience. And every year, whenever I assess papers, whenever I go through the answers which students share with me, I realize that they are not following the proper pattern for writing theory questions. See, law is a theory subject, and you take any theory subject for that matter. You should always write the questions, you should always write your answer in point format. And what will you do? A very simple method which you have been following since your 10th and 12th standard. For every theory question, pure theory question that is asked in the exam, first write the proper number, write a heading, underline that heading, always underline the heading, explain the provision, leave a line, okay, leave a line, then write down the second point, give the heading, underline the heading, explain that point, again leave a line, write down the third heading, and so on. Sometimes you don't have the heading ready made in the answer. Create one for yourself, but always write the theory questions, always answer them in point format. Ensure that your answer is very neat. Make it very easy for the examiner to assess your answer. So the second mistake which you should avoid is writing the theory questions, answering them in paragraph form instead of point form. The third mistake which I have seen students commit is that they start writing their answer with yes or no. See, whenever institute asks you a question, it'll always be like correct, incorrect, yes, no. So never start writing your answer with yes, the contract is valid, or no, the contract is not valid. That's a very incorrect way of presenting the answer. You should always say this statement is either correct or incorrect, or just don't write yes or no. Start explaining the provisions. I have also done a video on how you should write the answers. Go watch that video. You will come to know how the answers are to be written, how you need to write answer practical questions or situation based question. How are you supposed to answer theory question? Go watch that video and don't make this mistake in your exam. The biggest mistake committed by students is they never write and practice, or even if they do, it is always inadequate writing practice. Students, law especially is a theory subject. Your speed matters a lot during exam. Paper completion is the first step towards passing your exam. Give the examiner confidence that yes, I have studied everything, I have written everything, I know what is proper time management, I could complete my paper on time. That you will achieve only with enough writing practice. So what should you do? You should always keep a paper and a pen handy with you while studying. Keep writing the keywords, keep writing the important points. When you finish the syllabus, solve as many test papers as you can, solve the past exam papers. Don't just solve, time yourself. Sit on a proper table, chair, keep a clock, time yourself that I have to complete my paper in 3 hours time. You will not be able to complete the paper in your first attempt, but as you keep solving, as you keep writing more and more, you will realize that you are getting better at the time management. And before the exam, you will be very confident as to how much is to be written, what should be written, and how to complete the paper on time. So guys, writing is the only key. There are no shortcuts. Writing is the only key towards passing any theory subject in the first attempt. The fifth mistake which students commit, they just mug up. They try to memorize the concept without understanding. Have you noticed that in the recent attempts, Institute has started asking more of practical case study situation based question rather than this just plain theory questions? So you won't be able to solve, you won't be able to answer those questions unless and until your concepts are very clear. So we are there to help you. We are always there to support you. We are always there to simplify your concepts, to help you understand the concept so that you are able to answer any damn question that is asked in exam. So the fifth mistake that you should avoid committing is just to memorize, mug up without understanding the concept. That may help you in the short run, but you will not become a good chartered accountant. So guys, these are 5 mistakes which you should avoid in any exam of any professional level, and if you avoid these mistakes, I'm very confident you will score very good marks in your exam.